Well, good afternoon and welcome back, friends. We're down here on the National Forest land this weekend, uh, just doing a small amount of hunting and just trying to get away for the weekend and everything. So, uh, went out this morning, had a pretty decent hunt, and it was very enjoyable. And went out and sat and seen one. It was way off in the distance. What I was hearing the most was these woodpeckers sound like they was chopping the trees down. I mean, there's one on this side, one on this side. I mean, they was just one of them I seen was one of the big red-headed woodpeckers, but boy, they was a going at it, and so, but sat there maybe 2 hours and looked out, and I could see one side of him coming down through there, but nothing to get a shot on. So anyway, set the remaining time there, come back. We took care of a few things around here and wound up eating lunch and doing all that and went back for the evening and didn't really see nothing this evening. I had to come back and take care of a few things just a few minutes early, but sitting out here just kind of reflecting on back on the years that we had here and uncle used to come down actually to this very spot, or not this very spot, but down here in this area back in the 60s. And Daddy he'd come a few times. And so over through the years, later on, the 70s got started and they actually went out a couple of counties over to a hunting club. And we came, came down here the remainder, well, all through the years. I myself, you know, probably 40 years down here in South Georgia, down here on the the national forest land. So uh, we enjoy it and hold it dear to our heart. So, uh, like I said, there was probably 3 or 4 spots we used to camp at. So, but love coming down. Don't get to come down very often as each year, but we try to, 2 or 3 several times a year, always takes us back to them teenage years, with the family, and we used to camp over at a different spot, like I mentioned earlier, and we had our cousins was down there, and we had a ball. I mean, it was just fun times back in them days, and we'd go out either Friday night or Saturday night. There wasn't about one restaurant in town, and that was a Huddle House. So kind of just stuck with that. But we enjoyed it and went and go back, get ready to go hunting, round the camp. We had just again had a big time. But I was just wanting to come on and just share some of it with you, and we really do. I still have a good time and enjoy it. And a lot of times the family comes down with us, and I had I've raised 3 daughters, and they used to come with us and bring them down. We'd all have big family fun, and Daddy'd come and everything before he passed. So it still takes me back to when we come down here and able to camp out down here on the forest land and all that. So, but there's a bunch of stories. I got a many of stories to tell, and I guess I'll go ahead and tell one here, and before I close. But I remember one time we was over there at the other camping spot over there on the national forest land over here on the main highway, or off of the main highway, and we had a little Scotty kind of like I got here now, and Daddy went in, and he always pulled it in between 2 trees and put a tarp behind it, up over the top, out to make a little porch on it. And he'd bring everything but the kitchen sink when we'd go uh, come down camping and hunting. And so he had a big burn barrel out there, and me and a cousin, we was the only 2 still left up. Everybody had went to bed, and we got this bright idea to get that fire started again in that barrel. And I guess we poured about that much of that lantern fuel in it. And when we did, you know what happened. Whoosh! Well, when it blazed up, it got the corner of that tarp on fire, and Daddy was in the camper there, and we had a had to not jerk the door open and try to get him out of the bed and everything. Thought we was done burnt the camper down. So it was it makes me just laugh forever, you know, whenever we that on that particular story. But anyway, yeah, I was just gonna come, but and I'll try. I may make you know a few more. Or didn't want to just bore you out with this, but yeah, if you don't mind to help us out and everything, you can hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. It'll help us greatly. And I'm sure I got just a few more hunting stories under the old hat here. So uh, y'all hang in there with us, and we'll try to make a we'll try to bring a few more videos back with you and everything. So y'all stay tuned.